Ladies and gentlemen, 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 welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm in a super sick jacket. I cashed out from a sponsorship and I bought a sick jacket off Amazon. I'm just kidding. I am not sponsored. I have not been sponsored yet, and this is from Amazon, and it was not expensive, but it looks pretty sick, and it's kind of cold, so I am wearing a super fly jacket. So, with that being said, I want to start off this video by saying, one, if you see me squinting, I don't want to give you my whole life story. Basically, I wear contacts. They are not in. I have glasses, but they give a glare. So I am right in front of my screen, but I mean, I'm telling you, if I gotta hit a single button on here, I'm gonna be looking like I'm an older male. Let's just say I'm gonna look like I'm an old man. Okay, I'm gonna just say it. So, but yeah, not relevant because I don't think I'll be doing that on camera. But besides the point, the first thing I want to say in this video is I am extremely grateful. And I don't know what's been happening. For some context, I've had this channel for maybe 5 or 6 years. And you have to understand this is a choice I made at age 13. I am now 20 years old. I guess it was 14. I don't know. I've had the channel for a bit. I was young. Now I am older. And it was just kind of like ASMR is a popular thing, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of like, I just wanted a YouTube channel. I was like, oh, let's do ASMR. And here it is all these years later. But the channel had its moments when I was, in my prime days of uploading. And for those of you who don't know, it kind of started and stopped. And it was faceless. I was not showing my face, and all of a sudden my brother, who at one point did run this channel with me, like we were going like back and forth, he was like 10, I was 13 or however old, we're making faceless ASMR videos back and forth on the same channel. And recently he was just kind of like, you should just do a face reveal. He was like, he was just saying that, like, and I kind of agreed. He was like, yeah, you're not really going to grow without a face. And it kind of, let's be real. Faces are important because it adds a little bit of like, oh, I can see the dude. He's not like a headless being that is just tapping on objects. I can't relate to headless beings. So I did that face reveal a week ago, and that did like 1.7k views, which is, just for context, my most viewed video ever is 7,000. So to do that in a matter of days is wild. So then I upload another video of me talking about just an ASMR rant that had like 500 views and amazing comments. And then another one, I called it tapping on. I don't know are we keeping this family friendly? It's a curse word. It starts with S, ends with hit. And yeah. So I uploaded that video, and that title change made it like launch. Like, I don't know what happened. It was starting slow, and now it's at like 1.5k views. And then I upload another video yesterday. What was that one? What did I call that? Where the goal of this ASMR channel, talking about how I want to go in nature. That's doing like 700 views in a day. You have to understand, like, for starters, let me express my gratitude. And I'm trying to do shorts too now. But you have to understand, 2 weeks ago, this channel wasn't even on my mind. Like, it's so weird, for starters, not to go on a rant there, but where like life takes you. Because like, I've had this for 6 years. Like, I made this when I was a child. And all of a sudden, 7 years, like, there's things happening during that time, but all these years later, I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm back and forth. I was still faceless, right? And then I talk with my brother, and he's just like, yeah, do a face real, man, like, you got it. And I'm just like, fair enough. And then 1 week ago, I do it. And then 1 week later, I'm 5 videos in, and like, there's good comments. Like, I'm telling you, everybody in this ASMR amazing. Like, the comments have been amazing, even on shorts. Like, I'm doing these very, like, I'm about to, like, think of a number between 1 and a billion, and I'm about to guess that number. It's just like, to be honest, it gets comments. So that's kind of how shorts works. If you want a little YouTube lesson there, but even there, it's like no one's really aggressive. Like, no one's like, why is this guy in his red room whispering? Like, so I don't know. So first off, I want to say I'm extremely grateful, and I keep looking at it, and I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. Like, what YouTube? Who at YouTube is doing this? Like, who's just pushing out a video of some guy in a sick coat whispering in his room? It's just weird. Like, I don't know, because this is the type of content I like. Like, I like whisper rants, but it's weird when it's you doing it, because it's like, it kind of just seems to me like I'm just like, oh, this is just low effort, but this is what I enjoy doing. This is what I would like to see. And I kind of convinced myself for a while I had to do all these like big, if you guys know like ASMR Zeitgeist, I had to do videos like him. And now I'm starting to see, I'm like, well, maybe Zeitgeist does his thing, I do my thing, right? He dumps 5K new video and puts a lot of effort, and I just stand in a bloodlit room and talk about whatever the hell. But yeah, anyway, so for starters, I want to say, seriously, if you're watching this right now, which you are, because, I mean, you just heard me say that, thank you. Like, just thank you. If you're watching, if you're liking, if you're commenting, seriously, everybody who leaves a comment too, you don't even understand. Like, you do not understand how much that motivates me, because to have a viewer, like, a view is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'd be calling out there's a lot of viewers here, so there isn't anything wrong with viewing. I'm just saying, like, when you actually, and I said this last time in a previous video, but it's huge. So yeah, for starters, I want to say I don't know what is happening, but thank you for being here, for watching this video, for yeah, just thank you. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in this video, because we are ranting, as we do. Yeah, so I want to talk about gratitude in this video. And I've been really thinking, and by really thinking, I mean 5 minutes before I hit record, I was like, what do I want to talk about? I wasn't supposed to make a video tonight. Broke the schedule. I should be asleep. But I think it'll be worth it. And I was thinking, now that, I might be getting some decent views, I want to really think about what I want to talk about for 5 minutes before I hit record. No, but seriously, like, I do want to be like, okay, well, what would be a very useful thing to talk about? Because ASMR is a medium in which maybe there's not a lot of, I don't think there has to be a gain for everybody. Like, I'm not saying you have to be going to existential crisis as you fall asleep, but what I'm saying is maybe, you gain something from what you hear if you're not asleep, right? And I didn't want to just do triggers, and I didn't just want to do, not that there's anything wrong with that. I just made a video where I just did triggers, but I just kind of wanted to talk about this, what's on my mind. So, and I think gratitude is I think a lot of people don't really know what they want when it comes to life. So yeah, we'll get right into the existentialism. So look, if you want to fall asleep, but we're here for a long ride. But yeah, a lot of people don't know what they want out of life. And that absolutely includes me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing right now. But a lot of the times it's linked to a feeling, right? Like you want things, you want experiences, you want material goods, and you want it for a feeling. And a lot of people mistakenly, I believe, think that it's happiness. And I remember I had this at a young age, like very young, like I think I was 15, reading the book Resisting Happiness by Matthew Kelly. I was reading, there's another one, Fishing for Happiness. I don't remember the author. I'm close to getting his name, but I don't remember the author, but I was reading that book, and this is like, I'm 15, like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm playing Fortnite, I'm playing basketball outside, I'm going to, school, I mean, props to me, props to 15-year-old me, but it's just kind of, it's like, what's that about? And I've heard a lot of people talk on this, and I guess the best answer I've come to is, it's unsustainable to be, like, what does it mean to be happy all the time? So, the first thing that's sort of, I guess, is a lesson that's, like, brought me peace is that you don't have to be happy 24/7, and the contrast of life, like, I guess that's not the best answer, right? Because, like, no one wants to hear when they're in a bad spot that it's like, oh, you're supposed to be there. But there is really something to be said about the contrast of being, like, you need opposites. If there were no opposites, there would be no original thing. I think, like, I guess you could argue not everything is an opposite, but in terms of just, like, let's just go with, like, light and dark, night and day, like, sad, happy. Let's go there, because that would lead us into a much more philosophical conversation, which I have had before. I have a philosophy class, and, we were talking about that. Literally, it was like, what is the opposite of a table? Or, like, of, so not everything has an opposite, but not going there. But, I've heard a lot of people say, it's comprised of other things that aren't happiness. Like, you don't really, you think you want happiness, but, it's fulfillment, maybe, right? Like, you feel fulfilled. So, like, if I'm making ASMR videos and every day I make one and it goes out to 10 million people and I'm helping them achieve their dreams and fall asleep, maybe achieve their dreams in their sleep or in real life, I don't know. You know my point. It's a fulfilling thing to do. And that is something that you probably crave, overall fulfillment. Or it could be excitement, right? Like when you have a vacation or like something that like you can just feel in your stomach and you're like, yes, like I like that. Or it's gratitude, and that's kind of what I wanted to stumble upon here. I thought I wanted to backtrack though. What was I saying? Excitement, fulfillment. Also, something interesting to think about as I dance around a bunch of ideas here is most people are thinking on a moment-to-moment basis, which is fair because we live our lives moment to moment. But something I challenge you to think about is overall life. In my philosophy class, I wrote an essay on Aristotle's notion of happiness, and I kind of gotta like think hard to like retain, because I'm not gonna lie, I read up on that the night before. Even though I love philosophy, I'm bad at reading the text. I just don't find the time. It's just, I really should, because I would probably enjoy the hell out of them, and they're a lot more important than just a class. But as I wrote that, or as I watched videos of someone's summarization or summary of Aristotle's notion of happiness, they said something about how Aristotle was talking about flourishing, or maybe it was the guy's interpretation of it, but he said, I have a friend who asks me that all the time. He says, are you flourishing? And he means like overall in life. And I think that's big, because most people aren't thinking like that, right? Like if you stop them right now, you'd be like, how are you? And you'd be like, I'm just having a bad day. But like maybe yesterday like I don't know, like 10 good things happened, or like maybe one giant thing, right? Like your YouTube channel is doing well, or you, why is that the only thing I can think of? You made some extra money, you got a raise, I don't know, these are good things, right? Or you just expand it way further. It's like, okay, for the last year, it's been a pretty good year. Like, this area's gone better, my fitness has gone better, this has gone better, this has gone better. So when you catch people and ask them like, how are you? Most of the time, you might get like a moment-to-moment thing. Like they're not gonna in the moment be like, oh, let me hold on a second. Let me think over the last 5 years, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, few months. And then like actually it's been pretty good, or it's been pretty bad. It's more just like how you're feeling now. So that's one framework I think is huge, to which I don't even use myself. I gotta start using that to like challenge the how are you, like even for yourself, like to think like moment to moment, like okay, I'm pissed, I'm this, whatever, but how am I like overall? Because there's a lot more than days, there's a lot more than moments. um yeah, I don't want to get too deep into a philosophical conversation about about that as well. But but anyway, to my point of gratitude, I think gratitude is what we all really crave. Um, I thought someone was about to walk in and stop the video, but looks like we're good. Hopefully that does not age like milk and someone walks in here. But yeah, so to the point of gratitude, Thanksgiving was recently, and it's very interesting because I noticed the moments I am most grateful is probably when there's something novel, something new. A perfect example, especially if it's novel and new, that's not always the case, but when it's novel and it's new, and it's in alignment with your goals and with your passion. So for example, this YouTube channel, right? I don't think I've ever been so excited before when I saw that these videos were doing really well. Because this is a big thing. Like if this channel does well, if I'm able to help people fall asleep or feel better, whatever it is, that's huge. Like that is ginormous. Like that is a dream actualized. So it is a big thing, but it's also something novel, right? It's something that, I see a new thing, I go after it, I see results, and I'm like, okay, I'm getting a hit, right? Like I like that, I enjoy it. But I think that's where the problem lies, is that, and I did kind of warn this can get philosophical, like we humans love our novelty, right? We love our new, and isn't that the big problem? So is it bad that I enjoy making videos and seeing that they do well? Not really. It gives me the drive, and I keep going and keep making more, and it's good that my brain says, oh, we like this, let's keep doing it. But I've been thinking a lot about like why we adapt to a baseline, and I want you to entertain this idea for a moment. And I can't see actually how long this video is going, but I'll just talk into my until I can't anymore. Is we have a baseline of things, right? So it might be your car, your house, your family, your spouse, your siblings, you have food, you have water, you have AC, you have heat, you have entertainment, you have money, savings, whatever it is, right? You have all these good things. But they don't matter anymore, which is wild, right? Because when you think about things like, we're talking about the most fundamental things here. We're talking about food, we're talking about water, we're talking about shelter, clothes, family, loved ones. These are the most fundamental things. Yet, maybe this is just how my mind works, it just becomes a baseline. Like, you've had this, right? I've had my car for a while, and that's what happens. Like, you get something new, and it becomes part of the baseline, and it's no longer exciting. This is just how it works. If you're not like that, amazing. If you're the opposite, you just it just sticks with you and you're grateful, amazing. But I'm not like that, and I don't think a lot of other people are too, because this is why people get new things, and it does not last their entire life. They're excited for a few months, and then it's over. But the crazy thing I want you to entertain is just so I'm not gonna lie, the audio cut, and then I refilmed, and then it cut again, and I deleted that. And basically, I'm gonna try to backtrack. I think I know where I was at, because I probably said a lot of points that I thought I hit well, and then I just deleted them all, and here we are back trying this again. So I'll try to wrap this up because I actually don't know how long this video is, but good lessons in here, hopefully. But anyway, we have a baseline of things that we tend to not acknowledge because we already have them, right? So we have this baseline, health, money, savings, family, house, car, whatever it is, right? And we don't acknowledge them because we're chasing another thing, right? So we have another goal, and that's great. Like, we have a mission, we have something to head towards, and I like that because it's like this drive of like, okay, I've hit this level, but on to the next, on to the next, on to the next, and I think it's amazing, right? It's driving me to build this YouTube channel. It's not just like, oh, let's sit and admire the numbers. Let's keep going. Let's build the channel. But that doesn't mean there isn't a need to sit and acknowledge the numbers there, right? Like, I'm not like going like, okay, we have no time. Like, no, I can look at the numbers and be like, okay, I appreciate this, I'm grateful, and then move on. And I think that's what people are missing a lot of, is the acknowledgement of the thing, right? Is the moment where they say, but also even me right now, like, I'm only acknowledging the numbers because it's new. So now that the views are going up, I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, now it's easy to be grateful because this is new for me. It's fresh. But think about all the things I'm neglecting. I wake up every day and I have like parents, I have a sibling, I have a brother, like, I have a house, I have like all these good things, all these things that, by the way, are the most important. And that's the part I want to really hit here, is that if we were to lose the things that a lot of the times we don't even give acknowledgement to, that we don't seem to care for, they would be the biggest losses, right? Like, if I'm going for a goal, right, and I say, I really want, I'll just go with a material good like a car, right? I really want to get a car. And that's my main driver, my main mission, and that's all I care about, and I kind of just neglect whatever else it is, right? If I were to lose whatever it is, a family member, or a house, I guess, or water or food, like, you know what I mean? Like, these things are so essential, so important. And it's just so weird because we're not chasing the things we already have because we have them. So there's no need for a chase anymore. But there can still be acknowledgement of the thing. Like, okay, I'm not chasing a house or food or water, but every day, if I lose it, we got a problem. So, you know what I mean? It's that acknowledgement of like, okay, I don't really need to like hunt this thing down aggressively, but I have it, and I have to acknowledge that, because if I didn't have it, we'd have issues. So basically, where I'm going with this is, this is a movie quote, I feel like, don't get so caught up in where you're going that you don't appreciate where you are. I mean, put it on a shirt, put it on a poster, sell it in stores. There you go. No, but seriously, like, that's something I think about a lot, is like, it's easy to be grateful, and there's nothing wrong with being grateful when things are going well and it's new and you're achieving goals. Awesome. But I'm just saying, like, while you're achieving that goal, like, I think about this a lot, right? Like, this is my baseline. Every day I wake up, I'm not reminding myself, oh, you have a house, you have this, you're a functioning human being, you have this, you have this. I'm not reminding myself of those things. I just wake up and I say, oh, I always have these things. This is normal. I don't, like, you know what I mean? I'm not like, oh, I can move, I can stand, I can walk, there's sunshine outside, my family's here. Like, I don't remind myself of any of those things. I just say, oh, no, I have these every day. I don't even actually say that. I don't think about them. That's how bad it is, right? I wake up and I'm, boom, that's where I'm at. And then I'm just like, what do I do within the day? Go for the goal, go for this. I'll go to the gym, I'll do this, and it's move, right? And there's not oftentimes reflection on, dude, you just woke up and had every day. You gotta imagine that thing's fresh. Every day you get all of it again, right? The house, the food, the family, the drink, right? The water. I keep listing the basic basic examples, but those are pretty important. But you gotta realize that you get that every day, because a lot of us wake up and we're just like, we know from the previous days, weeks, months, we've had those things. So there's no like, yes, I have it again. It's like, no, I've had that every day. What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? So be grateful for where you're headed, yes, because like I'm excited about this channel. I have goals. I have other things. I'm excited to go there. But what I've been struggling with, and it's crazy to say I've been struggling because I don't think it should be hard to be grateful. But this is the thing I think we're missing, right? We don't want the happiness. We don't want the whatever. And that's all a question of what even is happiness. But we want gratitude. We want gratitude. And even though I know that, it's still tricky sometimes for me to be grateful. And it's oftentimes because I cannot acknowledge that I am where I want. Because I'm telling you the baseline, I mean, you know this, the baseline will always move, right? I might hit a sub goal, then I want another one, then I want another one, then I want another one. Why can't I just be happy with where I'm at now? And then everything above is excess. It's overflowing all of a sudden. So we have this baseline, and you wake up every day, and you do not remind yourself, right? Think about it. You don't wake up and say, oh, I have this, I have this, I have this. You know you have that. You've had it for weeks, months, years, right? So there's no story you're telling yourself. It's just automatic. You wake up and you've had these things forever. So there's no point. It almost feels like in acknowledging them because you've had, like, sometimes I think it's almost like, I don't actually think this, but it's a waste of time. Because why am I sitting here thinking about the things I have when there's things I want to get? It's ambitious, don't get me wrong. But you can see the problem with that. I mean, even saying it, it's like, whoa, dude, like, it's like, yeah. Maybe a lot of other people think like this. So I challenge you, figure out what's part of your baseline, right? What are the things every day that are so normal to you that you've never thought of even giving them attention, right? I eat food every day, right? I go to the grocery store once a week. I get this, I'm thinking I'm so bad at listing examples other than food, water, and shelter, but like I said, essential. And I really hope I'm not talking in circles here. But I challenge you, define what your baseline is and think about how important that is. Like, I think loved ones is a great example. That is part of your baseline every day. You wake up and you know these people are alive, they're healthy, blah, blah, blah. If someone were to pass away, that is horrible. That is so bad. And it would ruin all your plans. You would be upset. I mean, what else can you say about that? You know what I mean? Like, it's horrible, right? Yet, it's not acknowledged when you wake up that everyone is alive, that everyone is healthy, right? Because it's just normal. I wake up and all my family's healthy. They're all doing good, right? That's how it's always been until it's not. And it's the same with everything else, right? Oh, I've always had food. I've always had shelter. It's always been good. Until something happens and you might lose that thing, right? And then it's all of a sudden, it's not good. So, hopefully I'm making sense here. I'm going to wrap this up. So I just challenge you, define what your baseline is. What are the things that you have every day, that you have always had, that are really important? How about being able to move, being able to walk, being able to hear, being able to see, being able to smell, being able to taste, being able to feel, being able to find silent ASMR? I mean, what are the odds, man? YouTube has a lot of channels on there. How did you find me? I don't know. Lucky guy or gal. But you get my point. What are the things that you have every day that you're just not thinking about, that you're not giving the attention to because you've always had them? And then be grateful for them, because if you lost them, it would be a big problem. That's my point. So look, be ambitious. Go for things. I'm going for things. I'm excited for things. But do not forget that while you go for that thing, if something falls out of your baseline, that is your new priority, and that is your biggest problem, right? So if I have a nice home every day, I've always had a nice home. I've always had a nice home. It's fine. And I'm going for a goal. I don't have time to acknowledge my home and be grateful. I'm going for that goal. All of a sudden, I don't have a house for some reason. Something happens. I can't pay the bills. Whoops. We got a problem. Now the thing in my baseline that I wasn't even acknowledging. Oh, I have a nice house. I have this. I wasn't even acknowledging it, and now it is my biggest priority because I lost it. So that's the problem. Is a lot of people adjust to the baseline and they don't realize, okay, things can fall off, right? Can fall out of the baseline. So I hope it makes sense. I'm not going to talk circles around it. Let me know if this was the worst thing you've ever heard, or if, that guy might be onto something. He just really doesn't know how the hell he can say it. But with that said, guys, thank you for listening to this video. Late night video. Yeah, hopefully I articulated kinda well, but yeah. So with that said, thank you guys for listening. Like I said, thank you guys for all the support. It means the absolute world. Like you have no idea. I mean, people say that, and I'm sure everyone means it when they say it, but it's never really been on this side, right, of the screen, where I'm the one filming the video and saying it, or I'm the one receiving the support, and it's amazing. It's just weird. Like, it's just weird that a week ago this was a faceless channel I wasn't even really uploading on, and now it's kind of doing good. And I'm just like I said, like, who at YouTube is doing this? Who's sending these videos out in the algorithm? But yeah, maybe there's a real clash between philosophy and ASMR, or maybe ASMR and rants. Maybe people just like whispering. I don't know what it is, but let me know in the comments below. Do you like these types of videos? Why do you like these types of videos? If you have any video ideas, or if you just want me to kind of spitball and start the camera like I do and start ranting. So with that said, I gotta get some sleep because it's a little late. It's not that late. It's like 12, but I usually go to bed early so I can do an early gym. So since nobody asked, there you go. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for the support. I'm wrapping it up. Ladies and gentlemen,